Wow, welcome to Musetell.
Thank you for having me.
My
man.
brother from another.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And this is episode 10, and it's an honor to have you here.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here, man.
You my brother, and you doing your thing in a different route than, a lot of other people is doing it.
I'm trying.
And I respect that. So let's go from the head. I feel like we need to talk about, your backstory. So, tell the viewers, who's Big Al?
Big Al, I'm just a simple guy, man. I grew up Southside, Youngstown, Ohio, man. I really was influenced by my family a lot. My mother, she played a big role in my life. She always was there for me. She always kept me in something. She kept me into, whether it was track with the Youngstown Striders from an early age, doing shot put and discus. She stayed on me with education. She had rules for me. She made sure that I wasn't out past the street light. She made sure that, she always poured in that love and that care into me. And that family aspect really shaped my identity. Like I said, I grew up right on the south side of Youngstown, and I was the only child. And so I always kept a lot of friends around me as the only child. And those friends turned out to be more like brothers like yourself. Like, I always keep people around me. And with that, I found that brotherhood, I found that camaraderie, and I grew up with a lot of people around me, and I've seen how streets affected different people, how different households work. So I learned at an early age that not all households work the same. And I was fortunate to have my mother, and I always looked up to her, and I never looked at what other people have or what I didn't have. I just really enjoyed the things that I had.
You show a lot of gratitude and appreciation for just your life.
Yes.
And your mom's life and what she brought you into. And our mom's,
that's true.
Both black women in this area. And it's
strong.
Yeah.
And I watched my mother get up every day and go and get it. She didn't take too many sick days. I never seen her missing work. And that work ethic was instilled into me from a very early age. Other thing that really helped me is we used to always go, I grew up on the south side, but I got my grandparents was on the east side.
Okay.
And every Sunday we would go over to our grandparents' house, our great-grandmother's house. Actually, my grandmother and my great-grandmother lived on the east side.
Okay.
And the whole family would be over there. I mean, from cousins to aunts to uncles.
You have a big family?
A nice-sized family. They're all stationed in Youngstown. And we would get over there and we would play with the little kids to play. We'd be in the basement away from the grown folks' conversation. But we always had that family aspect. And that family aspect is very important in today, and even back then, today, and for the future. We got to get back to the family aspect and things. So I really feel like my family played a big role in who I am.
Okay. So you saying your family is big and involved in your life. So what did you learn from one of your family members? Did someone teach you at one point how to do something?
It was more of, they gave me love and support. No matter what I did, I knew I had my family's love and support. I really looked up to my grandfather, who was the head of the family.
What's his name?
His name was Otis Mosley. He died when I was a sophomore in high school, and that hit me hard. And with that, I looked up to him as a man. He led the family. What he said, it went, it goes. And I liked that he always treated me like a young man. He taught me life lessons from an early age. And when he died, it hurt me. But I knew that I had to pick up and I had to keep going for his legacy, how he believed in me, and I had to keep going just to make sure that my family was proud. Making my family proud was one of the biggest driving forces in my life. I never want to let my family down because how much love they put into me. So he was a big influence on me, as well as my mother. Seeing her get up every day and work hard, that made me know I need to get up and go out there and make a difference and make her proud. And I knew the ways to make her proud was education, trying to stay out of trouble, and not being a knucklehead. Yes, I made mistakes as a young adult, even as a kid, but they always knew, hey, we're going to keep you on that right path. And I steer straight, so I really appreciate them for that.
Okay, so you learned something from Grandpa and your family structure.
Yes.
So did you have the athletic gifts from what side of the family? Where did you get that?
My father, he played football for South.
South High.
Yes, South High. He was a running back. Alfonso Underwood, and he was in my life until about 8th grade. Then some family differences happened, and he left out of my life. Now, he was always around. He still lives in Youngstown to this day, but he just was out of my life. So I do see both sides of my family. I had a couple cousins like Keelan Dykes. He went to go play for West Virginia. He played for Cheney. He was very talented. He went on to the NFL, played for the Cardinals, and a couple injuries set him back. And then he don't play football anymore. But we had talent in our family from on both sides of the family. So I looked up to my dad when it came to football. He was there for me. He gave me my first equipment, had to buy my equipment because I was young. I was a big dude. Still am a big dude. So he bought my equipment, but he was out there every day with me, on the field, helping me out. I was playing for the Braves. And
I didn't like the Braves. I was on the Suns.
That's all right, man.
Destroyed them.
Listen.
Yeah, Braylon Hurd too.
Oh yeah, Braylon Hurd. There was a lot of nice cats that came out of the Braves. And I played for the Braves for about one season. See, I was always too big. I was a big dude.
Right.
So I was too big. So they had me I was like a peewee playing with the 130s, and
Right.
And
what that show you though? You always belong with the
big dogs, the top dogs. So I was happy to be out there. I got some experience, and then I really got into football my junior high school career with the Voney Rogers, the Voney Vikings. So we went undefeated our first year.
Okay.
We went undefeated our first year. I won the Voney Rogers championship. Second year we lost 2 games, but we still won it because the way the schedule played out, we lost to who, we still won it. So we went back to back, and that was some great times. So football really was always a passion of mine. Just as soon as I was able to go on that field full time, I attacked it hard.
So you went to Voney, and then your next phase of life, you was at Cheney.
At Cheney.
You was with my brother.
That's wrong. That's one of my boys, man.
I know that's like your
man.
right
That's
hand.
One of my right hands right there, man. Hey, listen, man. Some of the wildest things. He could tell me some of the wildest stories, man. I'm like, there's no way in the world that happened to you. There's no way that happened to you.
What's one story you could share on a football field, or something you could share in anything in your life that you and him had?
Oh my God. But one funny story is, man, and this is gonna be hilarious, and it's not even coming from him. If you know the family, because that's your brother. So like, y'all family is just crazy, and I mean just
my dad,
dad to Janetta to everybody. It's a welcoming atmosphere.
Yeah, it is.
So we was out my freshman year at Cheney. Janetta, Laron's mom, come up there. We've been practicing for about a couple weeks now. I think we just about to get equipment. He was at East at this time, so we don't even know who LeBron is. We don't even know nothing about him yet.
Yeah.
So we practiced. I think we were going to get some water. Janetta walks on the field, and we got Coach Bob as our coach. She walks on the field like, hey, my son about to come play for y'all. Man, he is cold. He is the best person out right now. And so what happened was, we like, who is this person she's talking about?
Right.
We all getting water like, man, who is LeBron? Like, yeah, man, he played for East. He cold. He gonna lock everybody up out here. She is coming out there bragging and selling these wolf tickets. So that's why we really started looking at him like, so who is this dude? So when he came to play for us, now everybody looking at him like, this the guy we heard about that's supposed to be.
So what was your appearance? What would you think he was gonna look like from her?
Man, I'm thinking he was gonna be like 6'7". I'm telling you, how they could talk a story.
Yeah.
So I mean, but when we see him, he probably like 5'5" at the time. Cause we was young, we freshmen. He grew since then. He probably 5'7", 5'8" now, but he was little then. But he got out there and he definitely worked hard. He worked hard, and he showed us that hey, he was an athlete, man. He played football, and that's just the belief that she had in him. That hey, I'm gonna go out here. I'm gonna tell you that my son is nice because I believe it, and he came out there and showed us. So after that, I started to talk to him. We got close, and we've been cool ever since, man.
So freshman year until now, y'all been like.
We've been solid ever since, man. We've been solid, man. And I'm glad and that's what I'm saying. I'm being the only child to meet people like that I can call my brother, to be able to call them at any time, to know I can go over their house at any time and walk in.
Any of their family's house.
Any of them. When they come to my house all the time, we got an open door. Some of my friends had keys to the house. And it's crazy. It's like
Mike.
Yup, Mike. Even when my cousin who I call my sister, we grew up together. Her name was Donisha Evans.
Okay.
Everybody call her Bo. She's like my sister, and everybody thinks she's my sister, but she's just my cousin. But even she had close friends with her, they didn't get keys to the house. So it's like we have a real we have that family atmosphere, and we always had that since going back to everybody meet up on the east side over my great grandma's house. We know what it takes to make a community great, and that's that family atmosphere coming together, and that's how we always. That's how we always, build those relationships and and bonding. So I'm really happy to meet people like you, like Laurent, like my brother Bob, like Mike. So there's a lot of people in my life that I'm just glad I met.
So we talk about all that. What was like some people you looked up to at that age, like when you go into your football career? Was you looking up more football players and
listen?
What was you looking up
Man,
to?
It wasn't more like looking up to, like I wanted to be them. It was more like I love this game. Watching, I used to go to back I was young. My mom always took me to football games. So I always had older cousins who did things like there were female cousins. Like my cousin LaKendra, she was on a dance line. She graduated in '03. So I'm going to watch Cheney football back in '03. My other cousin graduated in '05. She was on the band, so we going to these football games.
You was 10, 11 years old.
Right. So I'm watching these games and I'm going to them. So I'm seeing people like Justin Hall and like Mike Hall, like Ed McElroy, and like my cousin Keelan. I'm watching cats like, man, these cats is sweet. And I mean, all-star status. I'm like, and then I'm watching cats coming up through the ranks, and cats like Gary Thornton, and I was right behind him. He wasn't even that much older than me, but I'm like, man, he is big. He is a dog. So when I got to play against him, man, strong. And when I got to play against him, and I mean play against him, and then they got Sal Battles back there, and they got Purdy at receiver. Man, these cats was out there looking like a college football team. I'm like, these cats is nice.
They went to Rand or East?
Well, Gary started at Rand, and he ended up going over to East. I played against them at East.
Okay. This was what year?
This is about my sophomore year.
All right.
Sophomore year, yup.
So what was it like playing against them up live, then watching them on the stands?
Well, now I gotta go get you. It ain't no more of this. You a beast. It's like, okay, I gotta go do my job. So when I'm on defense, I gotta go get you. I don't care how big you is and all that. I like you as a person, but hey, I gotta come get you. And it's a thrill too. It's like when I get to tackle somebody that I seen play and that I looked up to, and that's always just the all moment. Like, man, this is a great game. It's a great sport because it's a battle. It's a competition. And I'm out here trying to do my job, and you're out here trying to do your job, and it's who's gonna win. And it's whoever put that most preparation in, put that work in on the off season, and put that time in. So it's always fun to go out there and compete.
So what was like a typical day for you, in like high school? Like what was like a normal day? If you can go back and remember, like
high school.
In high school.
High school was fun. Listen, high school was fun. And I try, because I work at a school.
Right.
And I try to tell these students, man, listen, I've been there and I've done that. A typical day, man, wake up. It depends. I started driving early. I started driving when I was 16. So I wake up. I got a couple friends that live with me. So I get dressed. I tell them, wake up, hey, I'm dressed, your turn. They go get dressed. So we pull out.
So hold up. Before we even get to the next phase, you already was building a bond there when you was ready being a leader right there.
Yeah, man.
When you said you was waking them up, let's go to work, school.
Let's go to school.
And do your thing. So then what?
So then we get in the car, man, we'll drive off, we get to school. Everybody's really much, you got breakfast, everybody started going their separate ways, Right. You got this class, I got this class, so we always gonna meet up eventually, maybe at lunchtime or something. So, I was into the academics. I was always smart, man, but I always feel like I didn't apply myself to the full capacity. My head wasn't just always on straight. I go there, I clown around. I was a flirt. I won most friendliest.
I'm not surprised by any of this.
Right, I won most friendliest. Like I used to always, flirt a little bit, have a good time. I always see my friends. We always laughing. I'm telling you, I always tell these cats that if social media was half of what it was now back when I was in school,
we had like a little bit.
It was a little bit. Like we couldn't just Vine wasn't there to go get. Like YouTube wasn't just super like a big place to go find somebody. Like Facebook wasn't what it was today. Like I remember when we first started, MySpace was still popping. So like that stuff was crazy. So if social media was anywhere near, I feel like, man, the stuff they would have seen, we would have set the bar for a little bit. And I mean, I'm not bragging or I'm not boasting, but I just feel like we did a lot of crazy stuff at our school. We had fun.
Right at the beginning.
Right. I mean, we having silly string fights. We having water gun fights. We egging cars. We just doing a lot of bad, but in a fun way as a high school should. We not causing trouble. I mean, some people did, but it's everybody had their own thing in high school. I know I wasn't a troublemaker. I wasn't out there fighting, but I did like to have fun. I did like to socialize. And I had a good time. I made sure I got my work done. I made sure that I made it to the next level. I made sure I was eligible for football, and I made sure I graduated. And that's what I made sure, things I made sure. But I do feel like I could have applied myself more and did a little and did better. And that's why I try to instill into the students that I work with today. It's like, you know, this is some of the best times of your life. Take advantage of it. Most of y'all are living at home with your parents. Y'all might got little struggles and things going on here and there, but some of y'all don't. Some of y'all getting well taken care of. Y'all should be coming to school, getting y'all work done, socializing a little bit, and having a great time. And some of them get it, some of them don't.
So, dang, that's like big because you play a different role now.
Yeah.
Being you was the opposite when you was a student. Now,
yeah, man,
you do
to see stuff
different.
come full circle, it's crazy.
So, did you have any teachers that, like at Cheney, that like really helped you, or someone there, guide, like help you like at all on your journey that you remember?
Listen, as far as teachers wise,
Or coaches, it could be either one.
now coaches for sure. Teacher wise though, at a younger age, I had a teacher that made a big impact, and even in a high school, I had a teacher that made a big impact. I know Miss Rappage, she was my 4th grade teacher. I don't know, it was just something about her just being strict and being no nonsense and really taking education serious. She instilled in me that education is serious, and from there on, I knew that even when she's not there, I try to keep her words in the back of my mind. That education is important, so that followed me out throughout my school years.
Right.
Now, high school, it wasn't there. It's not even like a class. It wasn't there. It was just something that a teacher said. It was a teacher named Mr. Pillin. He was my government teacher, and he was like, in college, it really got me prepared for college because I was playing around in high school. Like I said, I wasn't taking it as serious as I should.
Right.
But he was like, in college, man, you on your own. You paying for this. Ain't no teacher gonna call your phone and be like, hey, where you at? Ain't nobody gonna be showing you your grades all the
That's
time.
true.
It's like, hey, you out there on your own. You gotta make sure you get it done.
Right.
So when I first day wanted to step into college, you know, I'm nervous, but I got in my mind that I'm not gonna let nothing deter me. I'm not gonna be out here playing around. So with me, I went to where I shoot, so I would go to class. And if we got some work to do, I used to go to Morgue Library, and I used to be in Morgue Library until like 8, 9 o'clock, and make sure I knocked them assignments out before I even go home, because I knew when I went home I was gonna have some distractions. Might want to play the game, hang out with some friends. You know, we always was chilling on my porch, just having a good time. So I wanted to make sure I got the work done before I went home. So I made sure I was done. I wasn't procrastinating. So that stuck with me in college, and I always kept it in the back of my head. I gotta keep going. Gotta make sure I get the stuff done. So he might not even know. He just randomly said this one day. He said it to the whole class, but it stuck with me. And when things stick with me, I really take it to heart and I really make sure I follow through.